way that it's supposed to. This. How about, okay, hang on. So I want to be able to see the damn thing. Christ. Hold on, people. I figure out where I'm going to set you guys. Okay, so I was cleaning everything up in here because I got a freaking mess because there's like parts of like 10 cars in here. So I'm going to see if I can just live stream this, I guess. I don't have the chat. I can see the chat up there, I think. Yeah, we got it, so. All right, let me get this set up. Again, I just got to get all this crap picked up and put away. Kind of got a little out of control there. Hopefully everybody's doing good today. I mean, so far so good. Truck's out of here. That's a good start. I have to do a couple of things with the truck yet, but the good news is I think, knock on wood, it's just simple stuff. Kind of the fun stuff. Because we're talking about like, nope, nothing to go after tomorrow. But just looking, we got to get, helium and all that stuff in there, so it's going to be kind of the fun stuff now. Don't have to deal with the actual truck part anymore, so. And then I got to go up there and get windshield wipers and stuff, so it needs wipers and organized crap. Try to pin the chat. Might have to turn that damn heat off because I like having it warm in here, but I also don't like listening to it. I'll put it down a little bit. So, update, I guess. A lot of this is just crap that's not in use, so I don't really throw anything away. So here's a light stick. Here's another light stick. These haven't been in use, and I thought I might need them on that Tahoe, because I did a couple of additional upgrades at Tahoe. I know I said that we didn't have to actually do anything to it, and we didn't, but I did anyway yesterday, and I thought I was going to use these, but I didn't use them. So this is kind of like spare parts left over. This and this is stuff that needs to go in it. Unfortunately, so this is an S size tank. This is a K size tank. And then this is Airgas's version of the K size tank, which is they just call it a 200. It's almost the same as the K. This is the actual K. And then this is an S. All right. The S, I was hoping the S size would fit in there, but it will, but it's really a tight squeeze. So we're gonna use the Q size, which is about this, it's the same diameter, but except the top of it's like here. So it gives us a little bit extra room. And we can carry several of them. So I'm not really worried about that, and we'll talk about that later. For some reason, everybody keeps freaking out about this truck and me putting stuff in it. Just don't worry about it, it's under control. But basically everything just kind of got thrown all around in here because, I had to pull the crap out of the back of the truck, so that's all there. I had the ladder, so I was up on top, and then I actually had most of this clean, but when I was backing the truck out, I had my little folding table over there with all this shit on it, and I turned the wheels, and I caught the table, and then I knocked all the crap over, so I've been kind of trying to pick stuff back up and trying to reset it because I don't do mess, okay? I don't do messes at all whatsoever. Messes are not good. It's not a good way to work, not a good way to run a business, so we will see what we can do here, but I'll try to keep the chat up, I guess. But this just kind of needs to get picked up and reset. Hold on, I think my tow truck guy might be here. You think they're actually here? Oh shit, I think they are. No, it's FedEx.
Shit, I think they are.
Hold on a minute. FedEx would actually be even better. Well, not really, because that truck needs to go. It needs to get off of my parking lot. FedEx is here. All right, let's see if they actually put it in the delivery box. It looks like they did. All right, now I gotta wait for him to back up because it's kind of awkward. All right, he's leaving. Now I can get it. All right, got my box. All right, what am I missing here? Anything? The chat doesn't, it goes away on my phone so fast. Maybe if I go to live chat, like they go away so quick. But this, I know this might not look like a mess to some people, but this is a huge mess to me. Like I can't do it. Like this place needs to be like surgically clean, especially for the kind of work that we do, and it's just, this ain't cool, so. Also, something I should tell you guys, we had a hazmat situation in here 2 nights ago, so I'm probably gonna upset some folks. I know people get really sensitive about guns and all that, but I want people to remember that I'm trained and licensed to do all this crap, so if I can carry a gun, I can handle a pepper ball gun. So for a YouTube point of view, this is not a firearm, you know, for anybody reviewing this. This is not a firearm, but so I probably should wash this. So yeah, I do too. But so there's this company called Byrna, and again, this is not a firearm YouTube reviewer. This is not. Well, that is, but somebody will be like, you pointed at the wall, you don't know if anybody's on the other side of it. But this is not a firearm, this is a Byrna. This is a joke, it's a piece of shit. What this does is it launches these pepper balls. Don't ask me why I have this. Basically, like 5 years ago, a couple of guys and me at work, right before I left, were like, hey, I wonder if this thing's, what this thing is. So we had this idea of buying this. Well, I bought it, and then we were gonna shoot each other with it. And I'll tell you, the little pepper balls that it comes with are, if you have a coat on or a sweatshirt, you're not even gonna know you got hit with this thing. It's a piece of junk. So it runs on a CO2 canister, and see, I can't even, like, it's such a piece of shit, you can't even move the safety on it, like it's jammed or something. Oh, they want a ball. I hope that don't break open. Which leads me into my next topic. See, I can't even get the mag to go back there. But again, not a firearm. But the problem with it is those little pepper balls, I thought these were inert. I swear to God that the yellow and red ones were inert. And I really thought that they were inert. See, it's jammed again. Because there's inert rounds for training. And I was like, you know what? I never shot the inert one because it's supposed to have like baking powder in it. And I'm like, I wonder if there's any CO2 in these little cartridges, because I didn't even change the cartridges, just had a little CO2 thing. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. So I went boom and I shot the floor with it. And it was not the inert round. It was definitely the pepper round. And I'm like, all right. So I sniffed it and I smelled it, right? And I'm like, well, that's not that bad. And it wasn't. That sure as hell wouldn't stop me if I was attacking you, right? Well, about 20 minutes later, when the air started circulating, I walked back out in here, and I swear to God, I thought my eyes were gonna bleed. It was so bad in here. And I'm just like, what the hell is happening? And I'm like, oh my God, it's that freaking pepper round. And so my official review of that thing is, no, it will not stop somebody from attacking you, but it will stop somebody from breaking into your shop at 20 minutes after you shoot one, because it takes that long to actually like aerosolize. That wasn't really the problem. The problem was when I tried to vacuum up the little pile of powder that it made, and the vacuum cleaner filter apparently doesn't filter that. It just makes a big mess of it. So thank God it's like 60 degrees out. So I opened everything up yesterday, had the fan on, and I just blew all the air out. And then this morning I brought a bunch of air with the, reversed the fan, and I sucked a bunch of air in. And it's fine now, but that's my story about the pepper ball. But I gotta find where that went before I step on it. So I swear to God, the little yellow and red ones were the inert ones, but they're definitely not. So don't buy this thing. I mean, this isn't going to save your life if somebody's trying to kill you. Oh, fuck. Okay, we're good. They didn't break. This thing is a piece of shit. You know, they say that this is a great alternative to firearms, and it will, you know, if somebody is trying to, you know, steal your purse, you can shoot them with a pepper ball. And no, because, like I said, you know, it broke open, and I like put my face right down in it, and it doesn't really do anything. And if you've got a coat on, it's not. If you have one of these, throw it away. We just bought it, you know, years ago because we just wanted to shoot each other with it. And, you know, again, YouTube reviewers, not a firearm. I'm not talking about shooting people with firearm. It's basically a paintball gun, essentially, CO2 powered. And we just kind of wanted to see what it was like. You know, it was a piece of junk. And I remember it being a piece of junk back then too, but I'm like, oh, I got one inert round left. I wonder what that's like. So that thing needs to go in the trash where it belongs. But that's kind of my funny story, I guess. I'm sure somebody will report me and try to get me canceled from my sponsors for that again too, because that's what we do, but whatever. Kind of like the person who's still throwing a fit because it was so offensive to women to refer to, you know, the Wicked Tuna and then Reba, because apparently it was offensive to women for me to say that we could put Reba on the show Wicked Tuna and then call it Ginger Tuna because she's got red hair. Apparently that was offensive towards women. I've been getting all sorts of crap about that. I don't know how that's offensive towards women, but I'm so sorry to all the women out there for that horribly offensive comment. I'll probably never try to do better. I'll just probably say it more now because that's definitely not offensive toward women. If you're a woman and you're offended by that, I'm sorry. I can't deal with that. This cancel culture has just got to stop. Do something better with your lives. It's ridiculous. Ah, shoot, I'm dropping shit. All right, I haven't looked at chat for a minute. What's chat got to say? But I just gotta get this crap picked up before I can bring that truck in here because I want to get it all cleaned out. I mean, so what I did with it so far was I basically did kind of a once-over. I vacuumed it and then I blew it out with that air thing. But I didn't do a very good job because I didn't really think it made sense to do a very good job until all the stuff is in there. Because when I'm doing, you know, installing or tweaking things, little pieces of wire and pieces of tape kind of get scattered everywhere. But I wanted to do some sort of a kind of a once-over with it because, well, it was so dirty and nasty in there. So it's mostly cleaned out, but Jesus Christ, we still gotta clean it out more. But I'm missing. There's 2 lights on this Tahoe that I want to install. I have another one just like this for the rear side window. And I don't know where it's at, but I need to find it because I want these in those rear side windows. I always wanted to put them in there and I never did. God, so many ads on YouTube. Jesus Christ. Put this away. Don't need this out anymore. But yeah, it's just the amount of equipment involved in doing projects like this is crazy. Like, I almost need a bigger shop. I mean, I don't, but you know, it's like you almost could justify it. I'm not saying that I need a bigger one. I'm just saying that, like, kind of at capacity here when we're doing something like that, but I mean, it's just me. It's not like I'm doing 30 cars at once. So this is going to go up there. So I've got all that mezzanine storage up there. And we don't utilize that very well because I don't have a way to get up there. So I thought about building some stairs to get up it, which we'll still probably do at some point. But it's one of those things where it's like, because of our financial status right now, I'm spending money on things that will make us money. And a set of stairs is not going to make us any money. That ladder works fine, but I do need a bigger ladder because that ladder doesn't really reach up there, and it's kind of gymnastics to get up there. But see, I started putting some stuff up there. Basically, anything that we don't really use. I keep saying we like there's 30 people here. It's basically me, but stuff that doesn't get used can go up there because we've got, what is that? 12. It's 15. There's like 12 by 20 feet right there of square footage that cutout is, because it's the office and the bathroom and the closet. And you've got all that unused space up there for storage. So a lot of this stuff can get stored up there, and then you've got your floor space back. Because there's plenty of floor space in here, but where you run into issues is when you've got a vehicle in here. Like I have big cars. I don't have tiny small things. I have big vehicles, and you bring a big vehicle in here and it occupies. I mean, there's still plenty of room to get around it, but things can get a little out of hand if you're not organized. And just looking around, like that air compressor almost never gets used. I can go up there. I've decided that air compressor is small, but they charge a 20% restocking fee, and I'm not going to take that back. I already threw the box away anyway. But what I am thinking about doing, I'll probably keep it, because there's been a couple of times where it's like, God, I wish I had a small air compressor. Well, we have it now. I kind of want to get like a 20-gallon, something that'll do at least like 5 CFM at 90 PSI, like a better one. And then we'll put it up there, up on top, and then we'll just run the plumbing down, and we'll put a little hose reel down here by the fridge and microwave, by those helium tanks, and then have a little bit nicer system for shop air, I think. But that's down the road, and it's going to be a pain in the ass to get it up there. I don't know how we're going to get it up there. So I think somebody here has a forklift. I don't know who. So maybe I have to find somebody on the property that's got a forklift that could help us, I guess. But it is load-bearing structure, so I mean we can store shit up there. It's plenty fine for that. So I also need to do something with the lighting. So there's a dead spot with the lighting back here. No, I can't really put any shelving in here because it takes up floor space, unfortunately. But there's a dead spot with lighting, so that light, like here, there's 3 lights. There's that one, and then there's this one that's right above here, and it's plenty of light over here. But right here is where the last light is. Well, there's a problem, because when you open the garage door, it blocks it. But when you put a vehicle right here, you have no light in that back corner, or that back like third. So like from here all the way back, it's just a shadow. And like if you turn off this, you probably see what I mean. Like it's dark back here, and it's really hard on your eyes. So I got this tripod light, and this works really good if you just want to light the, overall, you just kind of tip it up and point it up so it's not in your eyes, and it's a nice blanket of light. But I'm going to get a couple of other lights. I'm not going to put them on the ceiling because there's plenty on the ceiling. We're going to run them down the walls. So especially if we're working on vehicles, it'll be real nice. Harbor Freight sells them, and then we'll just run them into the 110. But we're going to put like 3 of them, like here, and then there, and then 1, 2, and 3, and that'll kind of go from the sides, because there's plenty bright back here, just not back there. So but anyway, that's kind of the plan. Just, you're always running out of space in a building like this. It's just, even you could have 50,000 square feet and you're going to run out of space, because it seems like it's kind of the human nature and almost a habit to kind of just occupy all of the space. I'm trying to coil this up so I can sweep, because I just threw everything on the floor basically, because we're just gonna sweep it all up. But I need to get the truck situation done because I want to be able to just, sweep everything out. I want to basically take everything out of here and just sweep the whole freaking floor. I need to get a bigger broom though. My broom is tiny and it takes forever. I want to wash the floor too, but I got to get a bigger floor squeegee because my floor squeegee is definitely not big enough to wash the whole floor and then push it out the door, that's for sure. So I don't know, things, like I said, things that do not make me money are definitely on the back burner for right now. So that's the kind of stuff that we'll get later on. I'm not necessarily in a hurry. I mean, I am, because I want a nice place to work, but I'm also not going to go buy another $1,000 worth of equipment in here when everything that we have is doing me just fine. It's more convenience items than anything. I tell you what, this place has come a long way. I mean, we're pretty well equipped now. I gotta get a toolbox in here, a different rolling toolbox though. But again, it does not make me any money, so. And I've got a bad habit with this shit. So it's like, I really don't throw stuff away. All right, this is a tire iron. Ooh, I might need this. I was gonna say, this is out of a vehicle I don't have anymore. And I don't need it, but no, I do need it because this is actually out of the Tahoe. Okay, so I need this one. I was gonna throw it away. This is just like door seal, like gasket material. And it's really good for like lights, making gaskets for lights. But I don't need all this, like it needs to go. So what I'm gonna do, it's too much. So I'm gonna keep half of it and throw the rest of it away. I've had it for like 3 years and I've never used any of it. But I actually have a project coming up where I think that I might want some for it. So just for the sake of space, and you can witness me actually throwing shit away, I'm throwing part of it away. But I am gonna keep some of this because I actually do have something for this, but I'm keeping just enough because I just can't keep having shit pile up for no reason. It's just, the stuff's gotta go. There's just too much junk, too much shit, too much stuff that's kept for future projects or whatever, and then not needed. So I'm actually just gonna whip this up there. Oops. Oh, I missed, but I'm gonna whip it up there and then it'll get stored up there, or I'll probably forget about it and then throw it away in a few weeks. Another thing, like this is a seat pad. Like one of those things you sit on, you can put on your car seat to make it like softer. And, well, this is getting thrown away because, I mean, I almost made it in the trash. I haven't used it in years. Why the hell is it here? Carrie's gonna get a kick out of this. This was several years ago when Brandon and I did stuff with Ryan Hall. He got all those donations or whatever to like equip our vehicles. And Brandon and I told him that we needed good flashlights. This is what we got. That's as bright as it goes. Now I got an empty case. That is not bright. No, that is not bright. That is a piece of shit. They were $1. They were actually, they were literally $1.25 a piece. And Carrie knows because his flashlight died, and I had that thing of flashlights, and he was looking, because I didn't know where my thing was to take the wheel lugs off. And I'm like, well, it's in the car somewhere. I'm like, you can look around or whatever. And he looked in there and he's like, oh, wow, flashlights. And he needed a flashlight because his was dead. And I showed up there the other night and he's like, these are pieces of shit. I'm like, yeah, you can keep a couple because they're junk. They're absolute junk. So that's gone. I need that case. That's actually a GoPro case. These little GoPro cases are actually really nice for like all these cords and stuff. Like it's kind of nice. I buy so many of those GoPros and shit. I always keep the cases. I don't know what cloth you're talking about, to be honest with you. I mean, my coat's over there. I mean, that's what you're seeing. I don't know, but they actually are really nice for like organizing bolts and hardware and shit. So this is literally just turning into a stream where I throw shit away. Like, look at this. Here's a wheel spacer. Like, here's one wheel spacer. Like, what? Where's the other three? These are the KSP. Ooh, is this for my? Is 6x135? Is that Ford or Chevy? I know who to ask. Hey, I got a KSP 6x135 wheel spacer. Is that Ford or Chevy bolt pattern?
That KSC 6x135. Yeah, that's a Chevy GMC pattern.
Okay, we got to keep this one then. All right, so this. Shut up, Crack.
KSC 6x135.
Okay, so that one will go up there too. I thought that was an old Toyota one. Long story. Like some of this just junk. Floor mats, we're keeping them. This, I'm gonna brag about throwing this away because I've been keeping this. This is a light stick, an old one. I've been bragging about keeping this for the past 3 years because it doesn't work. And I'm like, oh, you know what we could do? We could replace all the lights, you know, because they come out, and then we could replace all the lights. It would actually be more expensive to replace the lights than to buy a new light stick. So this is going too. So this is going in the junk. Well, I missed, but I got close to it. All right, my floor mats, those are definitely not junk. Actually, I'm gonna keep 2 of these junk flashlights because my kid's probably gonna wanna play with them. All right, we'll keep 2 junk flashlights. I found a 13mm socket. I'm missing my 10mm though. Let me see here. I actually think that that's kind of most of our throwing away party. I think. Jesus Christ. This ain't going very good. Let's do this on the floor. I gotta put these wrenches back in this tool roll before I forget. We're actually starting to get somewhere. I just desperately want to clean this floor. I hate stepping on little pieces of wire and shit. I want to get that truck brought back in here and finish it up. But I need to kind of reset the game here and, you know, start with a clean workspace. God, I actually feel like I'm getting somewhere now. Duct tape, screwdriver, coat. Yeah, you guys just hear shit hitting the floor left and right. This This extending socket is what I usually carry with me for wheels. That way I don't have to carry like a breaker bar or anything. You know, just for changing tires when I'm not here or whatever. I found a little drill bit socket thing, but I don't know where it goes. I don't have a spot for it, so I wonder what's going on with that. Oh, no, I do right there. Okay. All right, we're getting there. So I think I'm going to sectionalize this. I'm going to take everything from here and put it back there, sweep the floor. So those of you asking, I don't know if the truck's fixed. Carrie, if you're watching, I got to send you that money too. I forgot, I'm sorry. As soon as I'm done, I don't know, I just thought about that. I was going to send it earlier, but I forgot. But, I mean, we got the motor, well, Carrie got the motor in it, definitely not me. This is leaking, it's going away. It's going away. Carrie got it in there, I should say, not we. And then we got new catalytic converters on there. That was a clusterfuck. And really, a lot of new parts on there, new oxygen sensor, new battery cables. I redid all the battery cables, alternator cable, a lot of new stuff. I kind of went nuts on it yesterday because I don't want to have any problems with it. And I'm like, yeah, these battery cables are getting a little bit wore, they're a little shitty. They look a little bit crappy. Like, let's just replace them. So I started making battery cables left and right, and I was like, well, I might as well just replace all the battery cables. So I was just gonna do the one from the battery, from the two, because I got the two batteries, one on the driver's side, one on the passenger side. I was gonna redo the cable because I've got 2 gauge cable going across to them. And I'm like, let's make 0 gauge. So I took 0 gauge and made a 0 gauge cable because that winch takes a lot of power. So really trying to utilize it. And so I did that. And I'm like, well, I got the cable and I got the crimping tool and I got the terminal, so I might as well just I'll do everything. So I made a new cable from battery to the alternator and then just made them all. Because it's like, I got the tool and I got the cable, might as well make them. You know? So, did that. I drove it. Last night I drove it up on the interstate and I drove fine. I mean, obviously, I need to drive it more before I feel comfortable with it. That's just how any vehicle is when you put a motor in it. Like, you're always kind of nervous to drive it because it's like, God, I hope I didn't get a bad motor. But, I mean, it did act up on me last night when I pulled it out of the parking lot, or pulled it out of here, but it was also sitting in here with the key on, engine off, low batteries, and I only drove it for like 5 miles after I put that oxygen sensor in it. I only drove it like 5 miles, and then I told the ECM to forget the fuel trims and all that and renew or relearn the fuel trims and the idle speed and all that, and then drove it 5 miles and came back, parked it, left the key on for 2 days. And it was like stumbling. It was almost like the mass airflow sensor wasn't plugged in. Like, it wasn't like misfiring. It wasn't like shaking. It wasn't. It was weird. Like, if anybody's ever driven like an older vehicle where the mass airflow sensor's been unplugged, like, that's how it was driving. But it drove from here to the road, and once I just took my foot off the gas, waited a second, then it had power again, and it was perfectly fine for the rest of the drive. It didn't set a check engine light. The fuel trims are fine, which if it were a fuel issue or like a vacuum leak, those fuel trims would probably be screwed up. So I think it's just a matter of when I told it to do because on these trucks, you're supposed to. If you don't do it, it'll still figure it out, but it takes a while. But you have to supposed to do a oxygen sensor relearn procedure. So I did that, and I'm assuming that part of that procedure, I didn't read it, is you're probably supposed to let it idle for so long. And I hit relearn for the throttle position sensor, the idle speed, the oxygen sensors and the fuel trims, and the transmission adaptive shift, reset everything, drove it for 5 miles, brought it back, shut it off, parked it here for 2 days with the key on for most of the time, ran the batteries almost dead, and you know that's not exactly the proper way to relearn stuff. So it's probably just a byproduct of it only had one drive cycle on those parameters. So I don't think it's actually something wrong. If it is anything wrong, it's probably probably more so of the vehicle just hasn't adapted to anything yet, and it's just being stupid. I don't know, but like I said, it only did it from here to the road, and as soon as I let it go back to idle and let it coast and then go, it was fine. And if you push the gas and it goes, so, and it drives like I would expect it to, so I'm not exactly worried about it. So, but the thing is too, it's got a tune on it. You know, I put the tune back on it, and if I remember right, last time when I put that tune on it before, the truck drove like absolute shit for the first like 300 miles. Like it took it that long because the tune, I think, is so different than factory configuration that it took a couple of drive cycles to actually learn what to do, because GM products are really sensitive to airflow, like more so than Ford. Like if you've got a small vacuum leak, or even if you don't have your air box closed all the way, it's like they run like shit. But I mean, it's nice to have a freaking running engine in that thing again. I can tell you what, that other engine was cooked. I mean, the fact that we had zero compression. Well, I shouldn't say zero. We had it was 30 psi dry, and if you cranked the motor over to the point where it would start pulling some oil up in the cylinder, we could get it after cranking it after you turned it over maybe 20, 30 times, you could get that thing up to like 50 or 60 psi. And I don't know if that's even enough for combustion. I mean, I think you need to be at least like 90 to get combustion. I mean, I could be wrong, but I mean, that was just, that motor was shot. And, it's been kind of a fight here the past couple of days. We've been fighting with problems that, they exist on the vehicle, but they're not necessarily related to the engine. And the vehicle could have had these other problems for a long time, but we didn't know about them because the engine was broken. Like the engine was no good. Your engine's no good. You don't know if you've got, a fuel trim issue because your catalytic converters are melted. I mean, yeah, you could figure it out, but like when you've got, low compression, you basically have a dead cylinder. You're not really focusing in on your catalytic converters. You're focusing in on the fact the motor's shot. And, I took some criticism on YouTube when I posted that. There was a guy that was like, "You don't know anything you're talking about. That's not even a catalytic converter. That's a resonator." No, dude, that's a converter. And I know that because I looked in there and it's a converter. And I had all sorts of know-it-alls telling me how to do my job. And it's like, man, if you guys think that you're experts, then I hope you aren't working for a customer, because you're telling me a catalytic converter is basically a muffler. Like you're way off. That's for sure. But I think a lot of these problems were all probably related. So I think the engine having that horrible misfire. See, here's the deal. I'll tell you the story, and this will all start to make sense. When I bought this vehicle, something was never right with it. I shouldn't say that. It had so many hours on it when I bought it that even though it was low mileage, when I bought it at like 12,500 something engine hours. That's a lot. It's got 14.5 now. But, so it's idled a lot, even when it wasn't driven. So there's a lot of wear and tear on it. And I think something was wrong with it a little bit, because when I got it, it idled rough. And I know anybody with a Chevy truck, especially these newer ones, these Gen 3 direct injected ones, they don't idle smooth. I mean, they do, but they don't. Like, some of them are just super smooth. You don't feel them at all, but some of them, like, the truck's running, because it's kind of like the truck shakes just a little bit, even though there's nothing wrong. Like, they just have a weird idle, and like, I don't know, it's hard to describe, but some of you guys know what I'm talking about, but it's just a characteristic of the engine, I guess. And, nothing's really wrong. I mean, hell, I had a rental Suburban that was of this generation a couple of years ago that had 18,000 miles on it. It vibrated, it kind of shook, shivered a little bit, just like that did. This one, they all do. But what happened was, I think when we got this thing, I think it had a misfire. I think it had low compression in number 5, because it always had a little bit of like, it felt like it had a little bit of a miss. And I'll be honest with you, I kind of thought it was a motor mount. And then I took it, not to get the transmission done. What did I take it for? Oh yeah, it was a recall. There was a recall for the ABS system, and I took it in, and I was like, hey, it's got a little bit of like a stumble at idle. I'm like, can you just check it? And they told me that this was a dealership, that it was just spark plugs. They're like, just do spark plugs. And I did spark plugs, and it was still there. And I'm like, well, maybe it's just a characteristic of the engine. And then it started getting worse toward the end of 2024. And I think it was October of 2024, I was driving it home, and I got to Clarksville, Tennessee, and it just wouldn't go. It had no power, and all this, it was making all sorts of noise, and it was just a dead miss. Brought it home, compression tested it, all that. Just number 5's a dead hole. And I think that what was happening was this probably always had a little bit of a miss in number 5, and it just got worse and worse and worse. And with that misfire, you've got fuel washing the oil off the cylinder walls. So I wouldn't be surprised if those cylinder walls are all scored up in there. I don't know if it was losing compression through the rings or through the valves. I think it was through the valves because it didn't have any blow-by. I'm sure it's a lifter issue too, where it's probably flattened out a cam lobe. But regardless, with 14,000, see, this is where a lot of guys were arguing with me in the YouTube post, saying that, oh, you're an idiot for not rebuilding that motor. Why would I put any of my or Carrie's time into rebuilding this thing when it's got 14,500 hours on it? That's the equivalent with the 200,000 miles that the truck has, plus the 14,000 idle hours. That's the equivalent of 600,000 miles. Why would I just do a valve job on that? Why would I just put cam and lifters in that? That's ridiculous. That makes no sense to me. That would be a terrible idea. If you're gonna do that, you need to rebuild the motor, like send it to a machine shop. You're gonna spend $8,000. You can go get a reman from Jasper for freaking $4,800 or whatever. Like, why? It doesn't make any sense. I don't know why those guys are coming after me for that, but whatever. They don't know anything, obviously. They think they do. They watch Scotty Kilmer and they think they're experts, basically. But I like Scotty. But I think the problem was this thing had this little bit of a miss, and that's just been melting the catalytic converters. So that's why the converters were shit. But I also think that it had this battery voltage issue because that fuse block on the battery had some high resistance. So I think that was also causing some electrical issues that we were having there toward the end, where it seemed like it wasn't charging, and I'm like, well, maybe it just needs an alternator, but it never got bad enough for me to actually start diagnosing it, and I think that was the problem there. And then the oxygen sensors, that oxygen sensor probably melted down and broke when the catalytic converter broke apart and melted down. So I think we had a lot of issues. I think everything started from a flattened cam lobe or a lifter issue or something, or maybe burnt valves, I don't know, but I think a lot of this may have actually been going on when I bought it. It's possible that that's why the vehicle got traded in. 100,000 miles later, we've fixed the root issue, but you have to go back and kind of fix all those other little issues that have happened along the way, but you haven't realized they're issues because there's been another issue covering them up. Go spend some money, get something better, get feeling better. What? Now, spending money will definitely not make me feel any better, that's for sure. That's for sure. Straight pipe, no converter. No, not on this. I mean, if you've done it on one of these Gen 3s, more power to you. I can't. I had another Gen 3, 5.3, L83, not L84. Not the AFM, not the DFM. And even with a tune, it never ran right without the cats. It never ran right without the cats, even with the tune and deleting the rear oxygen, like it just doesn't run right. My white Tahoe, the L83 before the high pressure fuel pump direct injected bullshit or whatever, that does fine without cats. But these new, like I honestly like these new Chevys, like I can't, and maybe a better tuner, even maybe, I don't know, but I just can never get them to run right. Even if you tune out the oxygen sensors and leave the front ones in, it's like I can never get them to run right. But I also didn't really mess with them too much. But no, I definitely, actually, we thought about just deleting the converters. But I was able to get the the MagnaFlow converter Y pipe. Hang on. Jesus Christ. The MagnaFlow, and I know it's aftermarket, whatever, but we were able to get that Y pipe with the cats and shit for like $1,000. Well, yeah, if it's a diesel, you got to delete that shit anyway because that's so unnecessary. It's also stupid. DPF, don't even get me started on that garbage. You bet the dude went and used AI. Oh, I'm sure. Let's see here. But anyway, oops, I think I might have just blocked somebody. Sorry. A 1987 Chevy Pickup, 1967. I'll be honest with you, if I could find like a 1990 to 2003, basically any truck that's 4 doors, big cab, short bed, that's not rusted, I'll clean it up, rebuild the motor, because we could totally do that in here because there's like 6 components. You need like 2 socket wrenches. And upgrade the interior, you know, new carpet, new dash, all that. Bigger tires, a lift, and I'll make it a winter project if I could find one. I found one on Facebook, a really nice 1993 half-ton Chevy. But the problem was it was $12,000, and I ain't got that. And the thing is, he's probably going to get $12,000 for it. The nice truck, very clean, no rust, no dents. I think it's been painted at one point. It just looked really nice. I would love to drive something old like that around for what I do. So you just don't have to worry about the stupid, you know, the stupid ECM problems. One thing that I'm really good at is like engine diagnostics when it comes to like electrical and CAN bus and COM errors and stuff. Like if you give me a good scan tool, I can probably figure your problem out. But I also don't like doing that. Like I don't want to have to spend 3 hours with a scan tool just to tell you that the oxygen sensor is bad. Like it's stupid. Well, I had to scrape up this. Whoever painted this floor did a bad job. So I'm trying to, as I go, when there's a loose section, I'm trying to scrape it up. We're gonna have this floor completely paintless pretty soon, which is good. But like I said, when I come across a loose section, I just kind of scrape it up. A lot of guys were giving me shit. Oh, it looks like crap. It's like, oh, you need to epoxy floor coat that. Okay. If I can use your checkbook, I will. The floor doesn't make me any money, so I'm fine with the floor. It really doesn't look that bad. I kind of wish people would quit talking about how bad it looks, because I don't think it looks that bad. It's just a floor. I tell you what, everybody's got an opinion these days, and most of the opinions are not positive. Just in general, like that's just life anymore. Like everybody's got a really shitty opinion about something. Always. Yeah, I need to get a bigger broom. I need to get a better broom because this one sucks. Like it doesn't pick up the fine little pieces of dust. You got to go over it like 5 times. Like you feel like you're just sweeping the same spot over and over and over. Just get a hose and just wash it all to the door would probably be the faster way to do it, honestly. I blew so much dirt out of that truck, and then I made the mistake of bringing the truck in here before I washed it, which was just stupid of me. So then it's got the dust, because that thing was just covered in dirt from sitting and everything. I'm totally just sweeping around everything. Because like I said, I just want to get kind of a fresh start here to bring that back in. So that when I get it out of here tomorrow or the next day, it's not so much to clean up. I think we're done with the making a mess part. I kind of just threw everything on the floor yesterday, like all the little pieces of tape and heat shrink and solder and wire, because my trash can filled up. And this is totally my fault, but I was just too lazy to go empty the trash can. So I just started, because usually I put the garbage can next to whatever I'm doing and throw the pieces in there, like the little wiring pieces and shit. And I just was so fed up with doing stuff that I just started throwing it on the floor. I'm like, I'll just sweep it up. Which, I mean, that works too, but. Things need to be clean though. Like, I'm not some germaphobe, clean freak person, but I really do believe that when you're doing this kind of stuff, everything's got to be clean. I'm not talking about necessarily like cars. I mean like electronics and shit. Like when we're building stuff, I can't have dust getting into it. And you know, dust, this is dust. So I just have to kind of keep things as clean as I can. It's also for kind of my own sanity, because if I don't keep it clean, I start getting like anxiety and shit. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, so much time, effort, and money has gone into this place that I really want it to look nice, like all the time. Like, I want somebody to be able to show up here at any time and I guess be kind of impressed with it. Not that I'm trying to like show off or anything, but I would like people to be like, oh wow, that looks so nice, you know? That would be cool. So guys, I think I'm gonna get out of here. Maybe the pan around here. You can see not everything is, this is gonna be the next stuff to clean up, but most of that stuff's gonna get put in a box. The problem is I don't have a box. Hey, if you live in or around Stoughton, if you're like a few minutes from me and you're watching this and you have some boxes, I don't mean huge boxes and I don't want all of your junk, but if you've got a couple of like boxes, you know, like boxes, email me. And seriously, like if you can get me some boxes here in the next like 20 minutes, I would be forever grateful. If it's any longer than that, don't worry about it. But because all this stuff over here is going to get put in boxes, and then I'm going to label it instead of just throwing it all in one box so we can find it later. But I'm going to back the truck in here, and I'm going to start trying to figure out how we're going to mount or put the shit in there, and then I'll go live again a little bit later on when we get stuff kind of figured out. But kind of kicked a bunch of that dust up. So I'll be back a little bit later. Thanks for being here, and I will see you guys soon.